Welcome back to the channel, and on this week I thought we'd talk pundits. Some are fantastic in broadening the knowledge of the fans and the viewers like myself at home, and some are, well, not so good, shall we say. So I've jumped on this YouTube trend of tier lists, and what I'm going to be doing is ranking each pundit on 3 stats which I think make up a good pundit. Those are insight of the game. So how well does the player know the game? Is what they're saying accurate, or are they just saying what they see in the game and not really providing any kind of new information? Next is the communication of that analysis. So it's all well and good knowing a lot about the game, but if you can't communicate that to the viewer at home, the viewers are going to turn off, they're not going to be able to listen, they're not going to follow along, they're not going to understand your point. So being able to communicate that message and deliver it well, I think is very important in being a good pundit. So that's number 2. And the third criteria on my list is that entertainment factor. You know, I know entertainment is quite subjective, although there are quite a few pundits out there that I think we'll all agree on that are quite entertaining. And I think that's a big part, especially for the viewer at home watching. You need to be entertained at the end of the day. It's an entertainment sport. Of course, the games provide a lot of enjoyment most of the time, but it's a whole show. You need the pre-match, half-time, post. It all needs to be synced up and all needs to be delivered in a great package. So you need that entertainment factor as well. So the categories are must watch. So these are ones that you just can't miss. So next is very decent, pretty self-explanatory, just one below. Next is meh. Next wouldn't even make the bench. Last, and definitely the one you don't want, is just dashed straight in the bin. So without further ado, let's get into it. So first we have Jamie Redknapp. Knowledge of the game, he doesn't really provide too much new information. Not really for me. Maybe he's just on TV for the middle-aged mums because he's a bit of eye candy. Maybe that's why he's there. And entertainment factor, not that entertaining. Granted, he is pretty entertaining on A League of Their Own, and I will give him that. But when it comes to football punditry, I'm putting him there. He's not the worst. I wouldn't dash him, but he's not the worst. Next is Jeff Stelling. You know what, I'm going to put all of the Gillette Soccer Saturday people together for this. So these split opinions, and I know the show's been going on for years now, and it is something which people have a connection to. It's something that they've known, it's something that's been on TV for a long time, probably provided you with a lot of laughters over the years. And for me, I can admit it did when I was younger. However, now it's outdated. I've grown up more. Paul Merson can't even pronounce names properly. Charlie Nicholas can't give insults properly.
Well, maybe you should go also then, Jeff, because you couldn't see driving home the other night because you don't even wear your glasses in TV in case you get slagged off. So you just stick to Specsavers and I'll do the game.
And for me, I think it's time for a change. And these are getting dashed straight in the bin. So Jeff, Charlie Nicholas, Paul Merson, Tomo. However, there is one exception, and although he does feature on Gillette Soccer Saturday, he's not really part of that collection, and that's Cammy. He does morning football shows, which I think he's actually quite good on. You can't deny he's entertaining, and he does have some decent knowledge of the game. So I'm going to put Cammy in very decent. Might be a controversial one. Next is Martin Keown. He does a lot of the England games. He's just a bit boring, in my opinion. Insight on the game, okay, and communication of that. He is quite articulate with his words, but he's just a bit boring for me. So, for me, Martin Keown's in meh. Next is Roy Keane. Now, Roy Keane is entertaining. His stern look looks like he can just kill a man with one look. He's terrifying to look at, and when he grew that beard, he looked like the most evil person the world has ever known. So, for me, entertaining-wise, whether you agree or don't agree with him, it's entertaining. If he has an argument with someone, you're tuning in, and he doesn't back down, which I respect. Good analysis on the game as well, good insight, decent communication of that. So, I'm going to put Roy Keane in very decent. Ian Wright, funny to watch, solid insight into the game, decent entertainment, I'm going to put Ian Wright in very decent as well. Next, we're going with Gary Neville. Now, a lot of people love this bloke, me included. Very entertaining. Although his managerial career didn't work out that well, his insight on the game, his analysis, and his communication of that is second to none. His passion for the game is undeniably questioned. He is just a lover of this game, and it comes across on TV as well. And for me, Gary Neville is a must watch. Thierry Henry, obviously as a player, ridiculous. He's probably the best the Premier League's ever seen. In terms of a pundit, obviously he's got good insight into the game. He's obviously done a few coaching roles now, assistant manager, now a manager. So he knows the game quite well. He's doing fairly decent as a coach. So Thierry Henry, entertainment-wise, you're tuning into what he says. His communication of the message is good. Thierry Henry for me. Oh, I'm gonna go very decent. Alan Shearer. Pretty boring, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. Entertaining-wise, not for me. Insight into the game's good. Communication of that's good, but he's just boring. So for me, meh. Graham Souness. Now, whatever my opinion on Graham Souness, you've got to think, what's Paul Pogba doing? You know, why is he not giving his opinion on it? Why isn't he beating players? Why isn't he scoring goals? So for Souness, for me, obviously he played it quite a long time ago. He's very black and white with what he says. His analysis gets overshadowed by this whole Pogba meme, and yes, I do think it's unfair, and I do think he shouldn't do it. Some of the things he says can be quite good. He can be quite entertaining because he does split opinion, but for me, wouldn't make the bench. Michael Owen, I don't even need to go over this. He's getting dashed straight in the bin. Jermaine Genius, communication of the message, very good, very articulate, decent entertaining factor, not the best. I'm gonna put Jermaine Genius in very decent. Rio Ferdinand, great player, decent pundit. I can't really get over the fact that, you know, he was getting gassed about Ollie at the wheel. It seems like he talks a lot about Manchester United. Now, it might just be that he's on TV when Manchester United play, because obviously that would make sense, being an ex-Manchester United player. However, for me, his communication of the game is okay. Entertaining-wise, yeah, he's okay. So, I'm going to put him in meh, the special one. Jose Mourinho. This guy's a must-watch, isn't he? He knows the game, he's entertaining, he's the full package. Jose Mourinho, some people love him, some people hate him. I think this documentary that's come out, All or Nothing, has kind of shine a light on him a little bit, that he's not just ruthless, he's changing his style. He looks really happy at Tottenham as well. So I wonder what they're going to be doing this season. They've got off to a strong start. Jose Mourinho's second season, but definitely must watch for me. And last on the list is Jamie Carragher. Now, Jamie Carragher, very insightful in the game, very decisive in his opinions. Him and Gary Neville have been known to obviously go toe to toe, very entertaining when they do. So for me, he's also in that must watch category. Let me know what works, what you like, what you didn't like. Any feedback would be much appreciated. I'm always trying to improve my content. Any advice, I'd really appreciate that. So until next time, I'll see you later.